Hello, this is Gazebo, and you're listening to Olli Sachse.
Nice. Masterpiece, you should have seen it. That rainbow in the moonbow. Used to say I like Chopin. Love me now and again.
Hallo Freunde, hier ist mal wieder euer Olli Sachse mit einem schönen Interview. Das geht diesmal wieder auf Englisch, das heißt, gleich geht es auf Englisch weiter. Und zwar mit Paul Mazzolino. Falls euch das nicht so wahnsinnig viel sagt, sein Künstlername ist Gazebo. Das sagt euch ja nun eine ganze Menge mit Lunatic und Masterpiece und natürlich I Like Chopin in den 80ern ein riesengroßer Star. Hello Paul.
Hi, everybody.
Paul, the first question is maybe the stupidest question, and you've answered it 1,000 times or 1,000,000 times. Paul Mazzolino is a great name, but why do you call yourself Gazebo?
Well, Gazebo, when I did my first record, Masterpiece, at that time, to produce a new wave dance track in Italy was very strange. And people were, especially the Italian DJs and the Italian radio people, they would have not accepted the idea that it was produced in Italy. I don't know, or strange situations. But so I thought, because my mother tongue is English and nobody would have noticed that I'm not Italian, I thought, why not use a stage name? And so I got this word from the song Masterpiece. I use it in the lyrics of the song. And I thought Gazebo sounded very international, and you could not really tell where it came from. And so I thought it was fun. It sounded good, and that's how, plus I didn't really think I would use it all my life. I thought it was only for that song. At that time, we'd do, experiments, release records, see what happens. But Masterpiece was a big hit and helped me, develop into the album with I Like Chopin, with Lunatic, and so I have to keep the name. That's it.
And what does Gazebo mean?
Gazebo is like a pavilion, is like a small roof place you have in your garden, where you can have breakfast or sometimes in the parties, and in America they make some really big gazebos, or even I've seen some in Vienna or in Germany. You use them in the parks, and the orchestras play there, and when you have a special on Sundays or holidays or whatever. So it's very typical of Hollywood, when you have a big garden, swimming pool, and of course you have a gazebo where you have a breakfast in the morning.
Okay, where do we speak from with you now? Where are you?
I'm in Borgo Melograno, which is my property here in Tuscany, where I have a bread and breakfast, and it's wonderful. It's in the middle of nature, and we produce wine, we produce oil, and so it's my dream since I was a kid, to live in the countryside, and so finally materialized it.
I can understand. Very, very great. Why do you speak so good English? You started your career in America, is that right?
No, my mother was American, and my father was a diplomat. He was an Italian diplomat. So I was raised in American or English schools, around the world. It was very difficult to find Italian schools. And so they would put me in international schools, which were either English or American.
And when did you start to make music?
I started when I was about 9 years. At that time, we were in Denmark, in Copenhagen. And I was in this international school run by hippies. And we would have guitars in the classroom, and you could pick up a guitar and play whenever you got bored. And so I realized I preferred the guitar to mathematics, and that's when I started,
And when did you start as Gazebo?
82. That was release of Masterpiece, 1982. But of course, I've been doing music, making music during the whole 70s, mainly Prague music, mixture between rock and classical music. And then with the advent of the post-punk, new wave, with the Deutsche Welle, with people like Kraftwerk and stuff like that, I got into electronic music. And the combination of all this is Gazebo, basically. That's how it all came out.
Do you write your songs yourself?
Yeah, I mean, at that, sometimes I work with other people, with other musicians who depends. Normally, 100% the lyrics, I write the lyrics, and then about 50% of, around all the songs I've done. I've done 12 albums, so it depends. The first two albums were done with a musician called Pierluigi Giombini, with whom I wrote Dolce Vita for Ryan Paris and for other people, You Are Danger for Gary Lowe and other people. And then from 85, I started working with other people. So it depends, 40 years of career, there's a lot of people you get to meet.
40 years is quite a long time. In Germany, I can only speak for Germany because I'm German. You are found on some one-hit wonder specials. So in Germany, some people really think you are a one-hit wonder. Do you know that?
Yeah, I understand that because I like Chopin was a big hit, a major hit in Germany, and I never managed to do another one like that. So people, of course, I did Lunatic, which was a big hit as well, but not as big as Alex Chopin. So I guess people identify me with the song, and that's okay. What can I do? I've done 12 albums. I know I've been going on. My fans know about the stuff I do, but I imagine that the mainstream people on the street, they probably know I like Chopin, and that's it.
And you are still a musician today and on the road and on stage?
Yeah, of course. I have a studio in Rome, and I have a small studio here in Borgo Melograno. So I compose every day, and I do a lot of shows. I'm doing these mega festivals in Germany called the Die Achtika something.
Yeah.
And we did two major show in Gelsenkirchen at the Veltins Arena with Boy George and all the big guys from the 80s. And I'll be back in Germany in Frankfurt on August 2nd for another show with other great artists from the 80s like Nick Kershaw and Sandra and Nena, I think, as well. All these colleagues from the 80s.
In the 80s, if you put out a record, you earned money. Do you still get some money from your first hits from I Like Chopin?
Well, you get copyright money. You get because every time the songs are aired, on television or on the radios, there's copyright money as a writer. Yeah, as a writer. Plus, I have all my songs I've produced that are on my digital stores. Digital stores like iTunes or Spotify or YouTube, and that also generates money. So it's still going on very well. Actually, there's a lot of 80s stuff growing lately. A lot of people, especially from Germany, there's a lot of income coming from Germany. Dankeschön. Thank you.
You're very welcome. So Germany is a very important country for you.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, Germany, Italy, and Japan. These are my three biggest countries where I've had, it's always been a great pleasure to go and perform.
And if you put out music today, can you earn some money from that too?
Yeah, well, I'm an independent artist, so I don't belong to the big major companies, the big corporations who control all the medias, all the radios and all the television. So if I do an album, it's going to be, of course, for a restricted amount of people who follow me, especially on the social networks. So I don't have access to the big promotion circus, and therefore not many. That's why many people think I've only done I Like Chopin, because they never heard the other songs I did.
Do you have a website where we can find your newer songs?
Of course, yeah, it's gazebo.info. www.gazebo.info. Otherwise, I'm also on the social networks on Facebook and Instagram. I always post my events on Facebook. I have an event page on my Facebook page, and all my events are there. There are quite a few in Germany, actually, for the German fans. You can check them out.
So you don't seem like you will go on retirement in the next years.
Well, you know, a musician never really, an artist never really goes, never really retires, you know, because once you retire, what are you going to do? We live out of this. Music is our food. You know, we need to do that. Otherwise, you know, it's not like somebody working, I don't know, 40 years in a bank, so he can't really wait till he goes and retires. Music is a big source of happiness for a musician, and so you cannot stop doing it, you know.
So we'll get some new music from Gazebo in the next years.
I hope so. If I'll be around on this planet, yeah, why not?
And we'll see you on any greater 80s show in Germany and in Europe.
Yeah, of course. I'll be in Vienna on the 20 next on the 16th of May 16th. It's about 10 days.
Yeah.
And then I'll be I don't remember all the dates, but there are quite a few events and festivals in Germany this year. So you can check them out on my Facebook page where the events, you know, they're all there.
Okay, Paul, also known as Gazebo. I thank you very much for all the information, and I wish you, of course, all the best in the future.
Thank you very much. Hope to see you soon. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye.